I want to share a story about an Uber driver. Abduzak Hadi is one of the drivers who took Uber to an industrial tribunal where it was ruled that Uber drivers are not self-employed. It's a desperately sad story and very timely. Abduzak's 10-year-old son has leukemia. Sadly, his child's condition has deteriorated into a relapse. He is hospitalized, and his parents have been told that there is no more conventional treatment possible and only experimental treatments are available. Abduzak works for Uber and is the only breadwinner in his family. He is also a current claimer for workers' rights. If his rights were respected, he might now be able to take some paid leave, paternity leave perhaps, maybe even sick leave. Instead, right now, he is off work to support his child in hospital. He has no income, but continues to have to pay rent on his vehicle. He said, and I quote, "Today it's me, tomorrow it could be some other private hire driver." So maybe by sharing this, things could change for the better. An ill child needs their father at their bedside, not having to work up to 90 hours on the streets of London for a minimum wage. I was also contacted by James Farrar on behalf of the United Private Hire Drivers, who told me that in 2014 Uber testified before the London Assembly Transport Committee to say that London's minicab business model is one that is exploitative of drivers. Since then, conditions have gone from bad to worse. Many report only being able to take a break after working 30 hours to cover their overheads. And James went on to say, and I quote, "We will be grateful and humbled if the London Assembly acknowledges our plight and calls for reform." Now, I'm going to continue letting Uber drivers make the case here. There's one more quote from Jamal Hussain and Mohammed Rahman. And they say, "In recent years, we have seen working conditions gradually reach a crisis point. We and many others work excessively long hours to earn less than the minimum wage. We have no security. It is our hope this motion will finally move the Mayor and TfL to take action to end the exploitation of publicly licensed private hire drivers." What these drivers are telling us is that in the case of Uber, the bottom is falling out of the labour market. People's basic employment rights, like a guaranteed minimum wage, holiday pay and occupational safety, are being eroded. Workers' rights have been hard won across generations of campaigners and activists, so it is really distressing to see the clock turned back like this. The gig economy just doesn't work for people like Mr. Hadi, who needs full-time, steady employment and security. Instead, the gig employment is resulting in sweated labour. The Central London Employment Tribunal judged that Uber drivers are indeed workers who are entitled to employment rights. This is not just an issue of workers' rights, but also an issue of safety. Tired drivers shouldn't feel that they have no choice but to keep working to make ends meet. And people using licensed transport should be able to have the confidence that the driver isn't overworked or risking their safety. This motion, just to be clear, is not about the numbers of private hire vehicles on our streets, which add to congestion. That is a separate issue that the Mayor needs to address by lobbying government for the power to cap the number of private hire licences that are granted. This motion is specifically about workers' rights and their security. The Mayor has already taken steps to introduce a higher starting salary for bus drivers. He wants Transport for London, union reps and bus operators to introduce a London-wide pay structure that would set out minimum levels of pay for bus drivers with 3 and 5 or more years of experience. The Mayor now needs to make life better for private hire drivers, and by securing doing this by securing the powers from government to make workers' rights a condition of all future operator licensing. He would really help drivers like Mr. Hadi to have a fairer, more secure and better paid employment and ensure that passengers receive a better service. I urge all members to support this motion.